and Dwight. Shaq, obviously, I have to come to you.
Superman is in the building.
It was so sweet. Got me a little teary-eyed.
Say it again, Kenny.
Super.
Say it again,
I'm
Kenny.
talking
I'm
about
knock you out.
I'm talking about you in the building, not him. Not him.
Yeah.
Shaq, it was very nice and gracious, the things he said, though.
Yeah, look, I'm happy for Dwight. We have been close. I jumped on him a lot. He thought it was personal. We had a conversation. I was just letting him know. I was trying to get him upset. I wanted him to play at a certain level. I'm happy for him. My condolences go to him for his terrible loss. He's able to spend time with his 6-year-old son in the bubble. So I wish him well. You know, I want him to, win this championship. There's a lot of talk of him being a Hall of Famer. I agree with that, and I'm glad he's playing well. He reminds me of my 4th championship. It was a guy that really helped me get my 4th championship. Of course, you talk about myself and D-Wade and Posey, but Alonzo Mourning had the same attitude. Really didn't play a lot, but in the finals, when I wasn't the Shaq that you used to see in the finals, Alonzo put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Big dog, I got you and I'll take care of it." And he came in and, those last couple games, when we were down 0-2, Alonzo Mourning played like, when he was in Charlotte. So I'm happy for Dwight. I'm happy for the Lakers. But I think this series is far from over.
I love that. Okay, Isaiah Thomas, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the play of LeBron James. You heard Jared Greenberg say he was just 1 assist away from yet another triple-double. It seems like it never gets old with this man.
The Lakers as a family and as a tradition have been so fortunate. Arguably they've had the 6 most dominant players in terms of duos in the history of the game. I mean, when you talk about Shaq and Kobe, then you look at Kareem and Magic, and now you're looking at LeBron and Anthony Davis. Those duos, they're the greatest of all time, and arguably they will argue with each other, which is 1, 2, and 3. But it's all the Laker family, and what LeBron James is doing and has done. And I've said this before, and I think we've watching and when he's all said and done, he will have every statistical record. And, Kareem, holds the scoring record and also the Laker rebounding record. And I think, LeBron passed him tonight on the Laker rebounding record. So he's touching every statistical category. And, there just haven't been another player that I've seen in my lifetime like LeBron James, who's able to do it all and touch every single box of the game. And all the Lakers, they can debate which duo is the best. And, Kenny and I we have to take a seat on the sideline and let them decide which duo is the best. But I know Shaq and Kobe, they're the most dominant for sure. Magic, Kareem, but now you're looking at Davis and James, 6 unbelievable talents and, 3 unbelievable duos, all in the same franchise.
Absolutely.
And you left out Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh,
yeah, that's true.
My bad. Right?
Isaiah, since you asked the question, I'm going to go and answer it for you. Me and Kobe's number 1. Magic and Kareem is number 2. Then LeBron and AD, then Jerry and Wilt.
Thank you for clearing that up. I wasn't sure which way you were going to go with that one, Shaq. I wasn't clear at all.
Yeah, okay.
Kenny, let's talk a little bit about the Heat, okay? Kendrick Nunn, he was spectacular during his rookie season, during the regular season. He ended up not playing so well once they got into the bubble for various reasons. He was averaging 15 during the season. He had 18 tonight. It seemed to come from out of nowhere. What are your thoughts on his play?
Well, definitely he's not out of nowhere. This young man has a great ability to score. He has an unconventional, kind of unorthodox game. So you're not really sure when he's going to pull up, when he's going to get to the rim. He has speed. I think he's going to have to play. I said this earlier. I thought that, he, Olynyk, and Jones will be in the rotation just because the athleticism with the zone may bother the Lakers. I don't think you can abandon the zone after one game and say, oh, well, we're going to go to this man-to-man because, like as Shaq said earlier, you got to say, we're doing this because we don't think you could do it 4 times. Mm-hmm. We don't think you could beat us 4 times this way. For me, I think scoring is a premium. Anytime a guy can put the ball in the basket, he's going to be on the floor. You got to figure out a way to put him on the floor. And Kendrick Nunn can put the ball in the basket. So you have to figure out a way for him to be on the floor in key moments and see if he can rise to the occasion and not doing it when they're down 30. Can he do this when the score is tied at 41-41 going into the, 3 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go into the half? That's what you have to see now because he's proven that you have to give him a shot.
He certainly has. He was very consistent during the regular season, so we will see if his minutes will be there as the finals continue. We will continue our coverage here. Dwight Howard paying homage to Shaq.
Oh, that's funny.
Social media is very entertaining, especially after a game.
That's Mars.
My favorite things that we do. Welcome back inside the studio, at least for me. Everybody else is on your screen. Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Isaiah Thomas. Kenny, let's start with you. I want to talk a little bit about Anthony Davis and what he's been doing here lately in the playoffs. He has been their go-to player. He's been on fire as we show you this shot chart. It is a little bit complicated, but I'm going to help you out. Red means fire, as in he's hot in those red zones. What do you think about his play, Kenny?
Well, it seems like the only zone that he's not hot is on the other side of the court, on the other side of half court. But, it just shows his versatility because he can score in the mid post, he can score in the low post, and he can obviously shoot the three. Obviously, shooting it better from the middle and from the right side than anywhere else. But I think the difference will be, Stephanie and Isaiah and Shaq and Steve can answer this as well. I think there's going to be a difference where I think it's game one, playing against a zone for a particular time. The Lakers who are not perimeter, that zone, I think you'll see a heavy dose of it from Miami because they score so easy in the paint. So it's interesting to see what they do against the zone. Where does Anthony Davis play against the zone as well? Will be interesting to watch as we break this down. So I'm really interested to see what they do with that. Zeke or Shaq or Steve, what do you think about that?
Kenny, I think you hit it right on the head. I think that zone. Well, look, go ahead, big fella. You want?
No, go ahead, Steve. You're older.
I think Kenny hit it right on the head. I think that zone is going to be interesting, like Kenny said. Where does he play? And I think when you start to look at zone, we all played against it in college. It takes away your aggressiveness. You got to be a guy that can play in that mid post, be able to make plays for other. And that's the one thing I want to see from AD is be totally aggressive against that zone.
Shaq, let's go back to you. In the tease, I heard you singing about Tyler Hero, about how good of a player he is. What is it about that young guy who can score 37 points off the bench and feel as if nothing worries him at all? What do you like about him?
Well, ever since I've been an NBA fan, of course you marvel over the legends like Isaiah and Joe Dumars, but it's always the others like a Dennis Rodman or Vinny the Microwave, Kenny the Jet Smith, Sam Cassell. For me, it was Big Shot Bob, Rick Fox, Robert Horry. Others are what can propel you over to, get that championship. And listen, everybody loves shooters, and a guy that can come and stroke the ball like that and, have good games like that, he's going to, help Miami become successful. Of course, everybody's looking at, LeBron James and AD, but you got to have the others stepping up playing big. A lot of people forget that LeBron's first championship, it was a guy similar to Tyler Hero, a guy by the name of Mike Miller. He was shooting the ball so well that one time his shoe came off, then he came down and still hit a three. So Miller, the importance of having a shooter. So, I've had the great opportunity to play with a lot of shooters. I love shooters. I love others. And these 4 shiny gold balls over here, they're not only mine. The others helped me get all these 4 balls. So you will always hear me talk about and respect the others. He's not a superstar yet, but he's an other. He has a role. His role is to come in and knock down shots. He's been doing that. And I look for him to have a pretty big series.
Well, among that Miami Heat young group, Isaiah, they've got a gentleman by the name of Bam Adebayo who has figured out how to go from other to all-star quite quickly.
Yeah, when you look at Bam, he Anthony Davis, they have very similar games. And what I mean by that, they both can handle the basketball. They both can play on the perimeter. They both are excellent passers. And they both can initiate offense. They like to play in the low post and also at the mid post. Bam is very good passer from the high post. So, Davis has the height advantage. But, when you look at these two players, they're very similar. Miami offense runs through Bam. He is their primary decision maker from the high post. They trust him with the basketball. And we saw in that last series, at the end of the game, they gave him the basketball to basically break down his man one-on-one, came back, had a big closeout game. So I look for Bam and Anthony Davis to really